I went ahead and switched to NA because I realized that my Europe account is still at rank 16. I haven't played a lot of ladder yet this season. Been mostly testing off of ladder with teammates in my free time. I have a feeling I might drop a couple stars. I don't know. With I don't know how good this deck is on ladder. Maybe it's great. We'll see. Anyway, so with this Paladin deck, I did actually change it a lot after the list I showed you is kind of the original list, a little bit polished, but I did change it a lot. Ended up cutting the equalities and or ended up cutting the one equality, added like some blessing of kings in testing, and that was very good. So I might recommend trying that. This list here, though, that we're playing right now is the same one that I just showed you guys in the deck tech. So we're gonna keep it consistent. This might be better for all I know. Still not entirely sure about all the ins and outs of the deck. Anyway, playing against control, like land hands is good, but don't really want to keep it in the opening hand. I'm tempted to keep these things, and just so I have some early game. True Silver is pretty effective against warriors, early drops. I'm going to mull those, though. Loot Hoarder doesn't really match up well against Acolyte of Pain or Armorsmith. Harvest Golem's just kind of low impact, and I don't have a 1-drop yet, so I'll keep the True Silver, put back the other cards. Normally you just want to mull for a good curve, but I'm in a slower matchup, so cards like True Silver get a little bit better. I drew both of my 6-drops. These are cards I'm going to lean very heavily on in order to win against other slow decks. I do have a mid-range deck, so I feel like that makes it disadvantaged against decks that are just slower than it, honestly. I do have double defender. It's going to take me a while to get full value out of these, so I'm just going to play a defender here instead of the True Silver. This also gives me the benefit of just putting another creature into play, so the Avenge I get off this will be able to proc a little bit earlier, hopefully. If he goes Death's Bite, it's pretty annoying because I can't, like, if I defender, my defender still dies to Death's Bite, but I mean pretty much anything I play will die to Death's Bite. Just hope he doesn't have it. If he does, we're kind of going to go all in on... Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's brutal. What happens if I play Defender of Argus number 2? My creature still dies. It would still die, right? Because a Defender goes to 3 health, knock it down to 2, down to 1, down to 0. Yeah. Maybe I just let this pop and then I play the second Defender. Could also True Silver that, but I don't really need to. I could just if I attack it, my guy dies. So I guess I do have to Defender. Okay. These are some, you know, minimal value defenders. Yeah. Hopefully it won't bite me too much. I like this more than True Silver because it gives me 2 creatures in play for this Avenge. And I'm just going to kind of spend all my mana playing big minions for the next couple turns. Sludge Belcher is pretty annoying. So Avenge goes off in the order that you play your creatures. So if I were to Sludge Belcher here, since the Avenge came into play before the Sludge Belcher, think of it just like another Death Rattle minion. The Avenge will go off before the Sludge Belcher goes off. Your Revenge won't proc if you have no creatures that it can target, but if I were to Sludge Belcher here, there's no way that the Avenge would go on the Slime, because the Avenge would happen before the Belcher Death Rattle. Anyway, I have to choose what to do here. It's between just playing Sludge Belcher and passing, or True Silver, Zombie Chow, which I guess I like a little bit more. Because I get to keep the 2/2 in play. Okay, hopefully we draw Tyrion. It's going to be one of the more important cards in the deck. Avenge usually comes down before your higher cost Death Rattle minions, so it's interesting that he would play that there for no value. Huh. I guess I kill it. So I could play Cairn, or I could play Undertaker Belcher this turn, just go for a crazy Undertaker. That puts the same amount of power as Cairn into play, might as well go for it. These cards are cheaper, so they're a little bit more flexible in when I can play them on curve. But it just gives me way more Undertaker value, so let's just do it this way. I like getting this guy into play early, he can, especially behind a taunt. He can run away with the game in a lot of cases, or at least make them burn execute on it. Gorhal here is pretty good. I'm pretty much never going to be able to get... Well, I'm not going to be able to get this out of range of that quickly enough, I don't think. Unless I draw... I don't even know. Oh, Avenge is interesting. He has no creatures. I tend to wait until they play a big creature to play Sylvanas. It's one of your only good answers to those kinds of cards. The Avenge here should be strong, though, because there's a 50% chance it buffs the Undertaker once the slime dies. I could have not played this, and then there's a 100% chance, but then it would just get executed, and then I'm not using a lot of my mana this turn. That would kind of suck. I want Undertaker to live. Nice. If he doesn't have Execute Taskmaster, he's just wrecked. Or Big Game Hunter. God, don't have Big Game Hunter. I would be so sad. Oh, he has it. Man, there's so few 2-mana enablers. Oh, he's running his face in. Okay, that's not as bad as I thought it was. So now do I play Sylvanas on this empty board? He would attack it. I'm just going to play Peacekeeper and Hero Power. It's less power into play, but I can at least wait for him to play an animal before I Sylvanas. Maybe I should have just dropped it, I don't know. The correct play this turn was to draw Tyrion. That's what I should have done. But mistakes were made. I guess he drew Execute. He has a different way to deal with this. Second Cleave, does he play double? Oh, okay, that thing. Okay, so we can draw True Silver. Tyrion almost assuredly wins the game. The second Consecrate is good. I kind of want to let this live, but it would kill me in 2 hits. I think I have to play Sylvanas now. That sucks. I probably should have just played it earlier. Yeah, I regret not playing it last turn. That was a mistake. I might be dead if he has an enabler in Gromosh, but yeah, shield block's not what I wanted to see. I mean, it's not as bad for me as like Alexstrasza would be. I think the game's over though. Like I said, these slow decks have an advantage on mid-range decks. It's very tough to beat them. Even if you get this early lead, which you'll always will because you have a lower curve, it's just not. You can't really capitalize on it because I don't play like any burn, or not very much burn. I only have True Silver champions. So once you get them low, you can't really finish them off. Drawing Tyrion is how I would have won this game. This is why I even considered keeping Lay on Hands in my opening hand. Like, obviously at this point in the game it looks great, but I wouldn't have necessarily... it might have messed up my curve if I had that Lay on Hands instead of like one of my Defender of Arguses, for example. What a fantastic card right now. Except not really. Hope he doesn't have a way to give that taunt. He's played 2 Unstable Ghouls. Most people cut Whirlwind. And he's played Brawl. So hopefully he doesn't have a way to keep up with my hero power, sort of. I think another Sludge Belcher and Alexstrasza are like his 2 best cards he could see. Most of the Ysera cards don't matter much. I suppose Ysera's Awakening can't even kill me because he's at exactly 5. He can't armor and Grommash Awakening. It's kind of a moot point to talk about what could happen because it's all kind of out of my control. Like I'll play the card I draw every turn, and hopefully one of them is Tyrion. I might be getting to that point where it's a little too late for Tyrion, but oh yeah, Lay on Hands would be very good too. I have 2 8-drops, that'd be fantastic. Oh great, he drew Alexstrasza. No, I can't win. I need to draw like Equality into Tyrion and all that shit. This game's over. Oh, that would have been good earlier. It's too bad I'm probably dead this turn. Yeah, this deck's just not very well equipped to go late game like this. I did have Blessing of Kings in after I made a couple changes. Let me make sure I remember to squelch him before I get emoted 20 times. But yeah, like I said, I added Blessing of Kings, which is kind of like a 4-mana Druid of the Claw. You can put that on your cheap Death Rattle guys and kind of go face. I ended up cutting Loot Hoarder because that card underperformed against Hunter. Just like things you guys can try, suggestions. Alright, so I'm dead. Hopefully next game goes better.